to Model 3, Designing Ads with Your Smartphone. I'm still your boy, I'm Mo Abdulakim, and I'm very delighted to meet you in this particular module. And we are going to be delving straight away into work. This particular module is strictly for those that want to pay attention. You have to pay attention to the details. Let's go there. Alright, now in this particular module, we are going to be discussing the ads you can create with your smartphone. And some of the ads you can actually create with your smartphone are categorized into 4 according to this module. Number 1 is the text ads. Number 2 is the graphic ads plus photography ads. Number 3 is the video ads. Now the 4th one, I'm just adding it, is the cartoon ad, which is also going to be rendered as the video ad. Now these 4 are going to be discussed, explained, and dealt with very well. Let's go there. Welcome back. I'm still your boy, I'm Mo Abdulakim. Text ads design. If you want to design your text ads, some of the things that you need to know are basically how to relate to what your audience really want to know about your product, about your brand, communicating it to them directly in a way that is going to be relatable to them. It is in the storytelling that your audience can believe. Whatever you're telling your audience about your brand must be in form of story so that it can be related with. Think of one of the most superb commercials you have today. You will see that they all come in form of story. It is Indomie, is it Airtel, is it MCN, is it Glow? Any of those stories, you will see that their commercials are always coming in form of stories. The same thing for what you have as copywriting in most of the magazines and newspapers and dailies and the websites that you have around as blogs. You will see that they are always related in form of story. So copywriting is a mental process that entails the successful execution of which reflects the sum total of all your experiences, your specific knowledge, and your ability to mentally process that information and transfer it on platforms so that people can emotionally respond to it. Response of people to it is the action you are calling them to take. So whenever you are using all your experience to write out, to put out stories so that people can relate to in order to buy or take an action online, that is the meaning of ads or text copywriting. Now, some of the platforms with which you can actually use text copywriting includes majorly 3. Number 1, all the blogs. If you're writing blogs, if you're writing any kind of blogs, it's a very perfect place where you can actually put up text ads, especially on any of the blogs or forum like Quora or Nairaland. You can always get nice place where you can place your text ads. Let me give you a very nice information, a very nice secret about my own product called sofa covers. When I started selling my sofa covers, one of the things I did was that I put up an ads copy and I pasted it on Nairaland. I want to tell you, till today I still get calls from Nairaland telling that they need to buy a sofa cover. I'm talking about more than a year ago. That is how it works. If you write a nice ads copy and you put it on the guide, a very nice platform, it's fine. It can stay here, especially if there are forums like Quora or Nairaland or Linda AKG blog or any other nice blogs around. You will always have people come for it to call you anytime, any day. Now, what are those things that you really need to know about copywriting and storytelling? Before I tell you what you need to know about copywriting and storytelling, there is a particular quote from Anthony de Mello. It states that the shortest distance between the human brain and the truth is storytelling. In other words, when you are telling your prospect that this is the truth, The prospect doesn't believe. But the moment you bring it in terms of story, for example, I used to be like this some time ago, but because of this product, I'm now better. The moment you relate it to your audience is happy, your audience wants to hear the next thing, which is statistics. Now, this is how to present your truth to your audience in ads copywriting. You tell a story. The moment you tell a story and you put the stats, you are good to go. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you the next thing to do. So when you are actually telling a story, you are basically sharing experience. Okay? The first thing you want to do before writing anything about stories or about ads copy is to tell or to determine the kind of audience you want to send that particular thing to. Let's say, for example, I sell coconut oil. I want to determine the kind of person that wants to buy the coconut oil from me. That imaginary person is called a buyer persona. Or they call it a buyer persona. A buyer persona is that imaginary individual that you are going to create as an ads copywriter in order to know the kind of person that is going to receive the letter you are about writing. You want to communicate that message of your product, of your brand to someone. The person that is receiving it that you don't know yet about that person is your buyer persona. You need to create that person. And how do you create the person? Very simple. Determine what kind of person the person is. Is the person, the gender of the person, the age of the person. Is the person a male or female? The age of the person, the age range. It could be an age range. It must not necessarily be specific. It can be 35, from 35 to, for example, for someone who needs coconut oil, definitely it's not going to be a male. Most likely it's going to be a female, and it's going to be from 20 years old. They really care about their beauty, about their body from that age, from 18 years old, so around 35, 38. From 40 years old, they don't really care about their body. So these are the kind of ways you're going to create your buyer persona. Apart from that, you are going to determine what kind of work your buyer persona does. What kind of income. If the buyer persona is going to be someone that is going to be very rich, you have to note that. So you write all the features of your buyer persona. The next thing you need to know is that you need to define the platform that you are going to put that information. If you're going to be putting it on blog, I tell you one of the best places you can put your information, especially if you're in the Nigerian market. If you have a nice ads copy to write, it does not, you won't see the response immediately. But I want to assure you that for a very long time, if you know how you are going to actually tweak this thing the way I'm going to teach it here, you are going to really like the result. So you're going to be able to paste it on Nairaland, on Facebook, and on WhatsApp or WhatsApp Business. These are the places where you can really use your text ads copywriting or ads copywriting to make a real huge move. Now, the types of stories that you are going to tell can be long or short. If it is short, you are talking about medium to small scale goods, medium to small scale business. If you're talking about goods that has to do with from 5,000 or from 1,000 naira to 50,000 naira, these are small to medium scale goods, and you need just short copy or short copy. Okay, you need a short copy for that. But if you are writing, ads copy for very premium product, like maybe a flat at Lekki, or a very expensive car, or a very expensive, facility and all that. So when you want to do that, you are going to write a very long ads copy. Also, if you are writing a small scale product, make sure you are using one of the nice cue that has to do with creating urgency. Okay, creating urgency. But if you're writing things that has to do with premium product, you're going to write with authority. Everything you're going to be doing will have to do with what? Authority. The next thing you need to know about storytelling is the structure of storytelling. The structure of storytelling is supposed to be known by you because you are the storyteller. The three things, just like any other stories, you have a body, you have a headline, you have the body, and you have a conclusion where you have your call to action, CTA. So, and another thing you need to know about your storytelling is that you need to know about the way you're going to write it. Now, the way you're going to write it, there are so many techniques that different authorities have talked about, but I want to tell you that there is this technique that is very, very unique, which is the slippery slide technique. The slippery slide technique tells you or gum or magnet your audience, your buyer personnel, your prospects to your ads copy such that the person will not know when he's going to force himself to read through till the end of the ads copy. There is a way we use our slippery slide technique method, and I'm going to show you right away. The first thing I want you to know is that if you want to write an ads copy with this slippery slide technique, you need to give a compelling headline. Your headline has to be very powerful, and your headline must have 4 features. The first one that your headline must have is your headline must be able to give your prospect, your buyer personnel, to stimulate self-interest, like make your headline put the benefit that your buyer personnel wants to see. An all-time best coconut oil product for an unbelievable price. What is the unbelievable? That's curiosity. Okay, make sure so the person wants to know what is the unbelievable price, so the person wants to read. Okay, the next thing is that you want to stimulate something that will make that person be interested in that headline, like bulkier hair this December. Make your hair awesomely bulkier, awesomely darker. Just tell them that you really have them in mind. This product is actually made for them. Okay, that is the second thing, self-interest. The third thing that your headline must have is that your headline must be able to point to the buyer personnel that they have other information to read in the body of the ad copy. Then the fourth thing is that your ad copy must be sprinkled with words like your, you, which is going to also stimulate self-interest. Those are the 4 things that you must make sure the headline have. The next thing you need to know about ad copywriting format is that you must start your body with the continuation of thoughts of the headline. The next thing is that you ask a question. Ask a question like, would you really want your hair to be bulkier? The person will say yes. So when the person says yes, he will want to read the next thing. So you're still pushing your audience, you're still pushing them down a slippery slide. Another thing you need to know immediately after this is to give a taste, give them a free taste. Tell them that if they get one, that you're going to give them a free half bottle of coconut oil. You can challenge them to prove that this particular thing works. You can bring in testimonials, like people that have used that particular product before, that have said something about your product. It's very, very important. Just list them as it is shown on your screen until you tell them what people are saying about it, that is testimonial drink. Add a story to the skepticism of the product. Tell them what other coconut product oil are not doing that your product is doing, and then give a super detailed ingredient or makeup of that particular product. Give a super detailed information about that particular product. And then the last one is that you create an urgency with a call to action. This one works almost every time. Okay, this technique that I'm just sharing with you now works almost every time. Now, if you are in the platform of WhatsApp where I'm taking this particular course, I want you to go back and drop exactly how you're going to actually, promote your product or write your own ad copy using this particular format. I'll be expecting you.